And I want to talk about 5 ways social media affects teens' mental health today. Under this tweet, I was driving out to our venue in Martinsville this morning, and thanks for being in church this morning on the August long weekend. Bless you. And I celebrate that you're here, but I also celebrate that many aren't here. We do not despise summer and summer holidays at the neighborhood. So Don and I are driving out to Martinsville, and she says, "Good job last night on your sermon, John." Means a lot when your wife says that. She says, "You should have been sitting where I was sitting." Said the row in front of me spent at least a third of the sermon on Facebook and Google websites, or websites on Google. Social media is a huge distraction in our lives, and it's affecting us more than we probably realize. One of the results from Sherry Gordon's work on this is it brings depression into the lives of our teenagers. I found this quote from the Mental Health and Digital World article done by Digital Society, that rates of depression and anxiety among teenagers has increased by 70% in the past 25 years. Now, it's not all social media's fault, but I suspect it's a significant contributor to the things our kids are struggling with. The second characteristic or thing that affects our kids is it brings anxiety into their lives. There's this sense, if you're on social media, and we have to deal with this as adults too, that, man, I need to respond to this quickly. And some days, even as an adult, the anxiety, some days, even the anxiety of trying to stay on top of messages on Facebook, messages on Messenger, messages on email, and everybody wants to hear from you right away. And I've got fairly good coping mechanisms as an adult, but your kids are feeling the same thing. And then they're also feeling, well, my buddies, they've got so many friends and they live such exciting lives, they feel like they have to produce something really exciting to put on Facebook too, so they look as popular and as happy as their friends, and it's a huge anxiety producer for our kids and our teenagers. I couldn't believe what I read next in our article: sleep deprivation. 1/5 of teens almost always wake up during the night and log into social media. Wow. 1/5. Oh, I can't sleep all night. I gotta find out what's happening out there. And then they come to school, they come to college, they come to university, and the teachers can't figure out why they can't keep them awake. Sleep deprivation. Fourthly, there's this envy thing that begins to take over because you're playing this comparison game, and everybody else always seems to be having more fun and be living more exciting lives. The grass always seems greener on the other side of the fence. And lastly, a contributor to our kids' health is in the area of communication. And I'm quoting now from Sherry Gordon's article. A teen cannot see a person's facial expressions or hear their tone of voice online. As a result, it's very easy for misunderstandings to occur. For this reason, friendships and dating relationships can suffer when social media takes center stage in a person's life. As a result, teens risk having relationships that are not deep or authentic. And she talks about how many teenagers and young adults in their 20s enter the dating stage of life where you're looking for a life partner, and they keep missing out opportunities time and time again because they haven't developed the skill of being able to read body language and facial expressions. The only way they know how to communicate is we've got to protect our kids, parents. We've got to protect our parents. We have a responsibility, and I know there's lots of things we could talk about here, but this is a huge issue in our culture. We have to bring discipline into our homes and the use of social media. This is important. And it's the parent's job, tweet number one, to discipline your son. And some of us are so messed up in our thinking, oh yeah, I better get a new belt. I haven't done any disciplining. That's not what's being referred to here. It's building disciplines, structure, maturity, system into their lives.